Hey everyone, what is going on? So first and foremost, I do want to apologize. In yesterday's video, some of you had pointed out that I actually had 18 points for my Cliffhanger video. It was definitely a mistake on my end, and I do apologize to not only my opponent, but everybody watching. Definitely a mistake. The good thing about it is it wasn't a tournament, so there's really no harm done. It was just practice. But yeah, you do have to be careful to make sure you do not go above 17 points if you're participating in a Cliffhanger tournament. So for your tournament, definitely don't do what I did in the practice matches. But if that was a tournament and nobody had realized until after the fact or until later that night, I would definitely give that trophy, if I won that trophy or the medal, or to like the whoever came in second place, because I wouldn't feel right about winning it, because I wouldn't have won it if I quote unquote cheated. I mean, obviously it wouldn't have been deliberate, but that's not the point. The point is you never want to do that. You want to win fair and square all the time. So again, I do apologize, and I'll definitely be more careful in the future. But regardless, we have this video. He's using a team of Swampert, Hypno, Togekiss, Tropius, Toxicroak, and Noctowl, and my team is going to be Swampert, Victreebel, Lucario, Altaria, Linoone, and Forretress. So I wanted to try out Linoone as well as Lucario and Victreebel. I didn't necessarily want to try them in the same team, I guess, but I decided to. So those are three Pokemon I felt were pretty interesting, so I wanted to give it a try. But for this match, we're down to Altaria and Hypno, and I'm feeling pretty good because I still have all of my Pokemon actually. So I just switched into Forretress, able to Bug Bite away this Hypno. He does get off his move, even if it was Fire Punch. Actually, I don't know if I'd survive Fire Punch. I'm thinking that I would, because that's not the same attack bonus, but I'm not 100% sure, so maybe it would have knocked out Forretress. We would have won the game anyway, but it wasn't Fire Punch, it was Shadow Ball, which we survived. But we do go ahead and win game one, so that was a very good game, very good game. So we're going to jump into another game, beginning with Swampert, and he does lead with his Hypno this time. So, of course, I'm just going to charge up the Hydro Cannon because of how fast it charges. We do get to that Hydro Cannon immediately and get a lot of damage. He chooses not to block that one, and we actually get to another Hydro Cannon. I guess he's going for the Shadow Ball. I don't know if he has a second move on that Hypno, but he does go ahead and block that one because he does have his move ready to go right now, which happens to be a Shadow Ball, so maybe he doesn't have a secondary move on it just yet. So we fire off Hydro Cannon against Hypno, and this will either take his last shield or knock him out. So he does let Hypno go down. So we are up a Pokemon. He brings in Tropius, and that knocks me out before I even realize what happened. So I bring in my Altaria, and this is a good matchup for me. We definitely win this matchup. I will go for the Sky Attack just because, I mean, between its Aerial Ace, charge move, and we do take quite a bit of damage over time, right? So I did go for the charge move right away. Then he brings in Togekiss, and I realized my Lucario and my Altaria cannot really deal with Togekiss, especially since he still has a shield available, so there's not much I could do. I mean, that charm is just going to eat away at me. So we were in a good position until Togekiss came out. So I guess not the best team composition because he has that Togekiss on his team. But because he does have Togekiss, I knew that he was probably going to bring it every game, basically, because of how well it did to my team last battle. So I knew I had to bring Forretress basically every team, because that was the only thing that could basically wall it. Not even wall it, because Charm still does a lot to Forretress, but it does a good amount. But it was the only thing on my team that could really stand up against Togekiss and Charm. So we take the Hydro Cannons, and we're just trying to feint down his Swampert. He actually gets off another Hydro Cannon. I believe I blocked this. Yeah, I do block this one. I think I could have survived that actually. But I don't know. It would have been close. But I do decide to block it. He does bring in that Togekiss, of course. And I'm going to switch into my Forretress just to try and get to Heavy Slam. So we do get to Heavy Slam. So that's definitely good for us. Now, he does go ahead and burn his last shield, probably expecting that. So that was good for us. I do block this. Now, I was not expecting Flamethrower. Flamethrower is obviously a lot worse for us. I was expecting a Flying move or Ancient Power, both of which are neutral. So, yeah. But obviously, Flamethrower is a lot worse for us. But either way, we end up knocking out his Togekiss, which is good for us. And then he brings in his final Pokemon, which is Hypno. So this is definitely a wrap in this video because we're able to do a lot of damage with Bug Bite and Heavy Slam, so I actually tried switching. It was delayed, but eventually the switch goes off and we do get off that Sky Attack and we can knock out Hypno, but actually surviving with all 3 Pokemon as well. But either way, we do go ahead and take that game. So good game, good game. But yeah, something to watch out for on his team is Togekiss. In fact, I liked Togekiss so much that I'm actually trying it in my next video after this one, because I really like this performance. So you'll see how that goes. But for this one, I do begin with my Linoon. He begins with his Swampert. Now we do have Grass Knot. I am going to let this Hydro Cannon go through because I know I could tank it. And we charge up a couple extra times just to make sure he doesn't switch out into something that could resist Grass Knot like Tropius, and he doesn't. So I bring in my Victreebel, which is going to make fast work of Swampert. Hydro Cannon's still doing a lot of damage because of how powerful it is, but we do knock out Swampert, and then he brings in his Noctowl, which is unfortunate for us. I did not purchase a secondary move onto it just yet. I do bring in Linoon, and we're going to go ahead and block this. Now, I decided to go for the Thunderbolt, hoping that, or Thunder, is it Thunder or Thunderbolt? It's Thunder. Hoping that he doesn't realize Linoon's moveset. Now, that was wishful thinking. I figured he probably knew Linoon's moveset, but I figured the only way I had a chance was if I knocked out his Noctowl with Thunder, because we bring in this Forretress, and I could take the Sky Attack. He has another one, and yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and block this second one. Not anything I could do, even if I do knock out this Noctowl, which, do I knock it out? I don't remember if I knock it out. No, we almost get to the Heavy Slam. We actually do get to it, but then he's able to get off a Sky Attack. Actually, we do knock it out because we survived that Sky Attack. My bad. Or do we not? No, I don't think this knocks it out. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. So forget everything. Actually, we do knock it out. Guys, I keep on going back and forth. I'm sorry, guys. But regardless, it doesn't matter because his Togekiss is going to be able to come in and make quick work of me. So for this match, I do begin with Altaria, and he begins with his Toxicroak. So definitely a favorable matchup. He does switch into Noctowl, so I was glad to see Noctowl and not his Togekiss, which I was expecting Togekiss, but then we could have switched into Forretress if he did switch into Togekiss. Now, Togekiss with Flamethrower obviously will destroy Forretress, but Flamethrower does take a long time to get to. So if you're up shields or you're even with shields, Forretress generally wins that matchup. So yeah, anyway, we're going to be able to take this Sky Attack. As you'll see, we do take it, and then we try to get to a Hydro Cannon, which we are able to do. I wasn't going to try and feint him down with Mud Shots because I knew I couldn't do it. So we knock him out with Hydro Cannon, and then he brings in his next Pokemon. I was wondering if I could get to another Hydro Cannon, but we're not able to do so. But that's okay because we do bring in my Altaria, and Altaria with Sky Attack is going to be able to knock out his Toxicroak, as it does. And then he brings in his final Pokemon, which is that Togekiss, and I'm not going to allow it to charge up any energy against my Altaria. I do switch into my Forretress, charging up a little bit of extra energy. He actually does fire off his Flamethrower, but we are up a shield, so as I said, Forretress will win that. But you could see, even though I resist Charm, it's still doing a lot of damage to Forretress. So you could, I mean, look at that. That Charm is still doing a good amount of damage. So but we do get off the Heavy Slam, and this is going to be able to knock out his Togekiss. So we win that one as well. So good game, good game. And we do have one more battle for you today, and we're going to jump into it right now, beginning with Lucario. He does begin with Noctowl, so this is not a favorable matchup. This is actually an okay matchup because Noctowl is neutral to these fighting moves, and Lucario has a really high attack, so this is actually a pretty good matchup for us because we can get off Power Punch. He's not going to shield that, and then he'll get off his Sky Attack, so we're going to be able to block that. So this is actually a really good matchup. I don't know why I said it wasn't good, because it's actually a pretty good matchup because we're able to feint that Noctowl. So now we have a Shadow Ball and a Power Up Punch ready to go, and we're waiting to see what comes in. So let's see. So it is that Togekiss. So I do go for the Shadow Ball for a couple of reasons. One, I was hoping he would think it was a Power Up Punch, which obviously he did. And two, I was hoping he would not realize how much damage it would do, which could be the case as well because that did a lot of damage. So we don't have to worry about Togekiss this game. He brings in Swampert. I'm going to switch to my Swampert, and he's up Hydro Cannons. I could take this, but that is okay because we still have a fortress in the back. So we do go ahead and fire off this hydro cannon, just doing as much damage as possible to swamp it. He will go ahead and shield that. Now he's still up a shield, however, well, not up a shield with tied shields, but he has a shield. So we go ahead and fire off a hydro cannon, and we're going to actually get to another hydro cannon. He was trying to feint me down, wasn't able to do it, and this hydro cannon will be shot at swamp it, and we will win that one. So that is going to be it for this video, guys. I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.